So, hello everyone. It's me, Michael, and my colleague Andrew.
Hey, nice to meet you.
It's our next episode of podcast. It's not sweet business, and today we're going to talk about financial technology industry, the difference of using payment methods in local or global markets. What are the struggle points of product development, marketing, regulations, and further questions that we're going to discuss today. And also today we would like to introduce our guest Anton, who is the head of engineering of one of the biggest player on the market called Revolut. So hello Anton, how are you?
Hi, yeah, I'm good. Thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you for coming. So first of all, let's start from your position currently, and maybe briefly about yourself and your background.
Yeah, how did you enter to engineering actually?
Well, I don't remember when I joined engineering because it was, I think, on first year of my university, and the whole career was related to engineering, and I switched to jump between different financial companies, like brokerage company in Russia, Deutsche Bank for investment block, and finally to Revolut. And right now I a little bit shifted from purely engineering aspects and developing the software. And you mentioned that I'm head of engineering. It's not 100% correct. I'm more like technical product owner. Like I'm leading the trading platform, and I am responsible for building the product for end users in Revolut related to trading. So all services which we provide to trade securities, crypto, different other asset classes. So yeah, I'm covering two parts of the things. So like purely engineering and like engineering manager role and product role to deliver the value for the users and build this product, which will be used by multiple people in around the globe, basically.
Sounds complicated.
Yeah. And could you explain maybe a bit about your daily tasks and roles for our audience to understand?
Yeah, what engineer does for a living?
Well, the engineers develop the solution to basically provide new features to the users, and I am, as a technical product owner, responsible to organize whole process together, to help with integrations with different departments and the teams, to try to build the platform for the trading, because I'm not working alone. I'm communicate a lot with the different product owners in Revolut. So I'm not really focusing on client-facing functionality, but I'm covering the platform thing. So basically, in a simple words, when user try to invest or use our application, they need to have some core functionality, such as list of transaction, your portfolio with all valuations. To make it happen, we need to have some different connectivities to different brokers, to different investment accounts, robot trading, or any other products which we already have or might have in the future. So as a product owner, technical product owner of the platform, I'm responsible on a day-to-day, first of all, to communicate with other stakeholders to deliver the product to the users, plus to communicate with different counterparties, to integrate, to get more data, more products to our application, and to communicate a lot with my engineering team to make sure what we will deliver the best product on the market, to make sure what it's scalable, fast enough, has zero downtime or any other technical difficulties, to provide best user experience for the users.
Cool.
So sounds like a lot of things to cover.
Oh yeah,
that's true. So this is FinTech market, right?
Yes.
If I say that basically the whole FinTech in the whole planet is the same, is it correct or not? Or do you have special niches in FinTech market?
Well, it's a huge market, and you can split it across different areas, and different focus of different companies. So first of all, it's different in all countries. It's not only about users and localization, but it's also about how we provide the features, what is really important to the users in particular market, what kind of regulations they have and legal requirements. Because, well, there's a lot of things around crypto, but in some countries you're just not allowed to provide crypto services for the users, or crypto derivatives, or even FX market and currencies exchange. There is a lot of regulations in different regions. For example, Brazil, when you are not allowed simply to have different currencies in your pockets, so you need to work around with local governance and so on. But on the other hand, you also have different type of fintech companies, which is covering different areas. So it could be like transfer of money around the globe. It's companies related to trading, companies covers purely like tax beneficial services, like ISA account in UK, for example, or something like this. And you have more like all previous steps I was talking about, like B2Cs, so to customers, but there is a huge market which is B2B only, and all of these interbank exchanges and hedge funds and other like prop trading companies who provide services for small group of wealthy people or even for huge corporations. And where is all money in fintech, to be honest, because the portion of retail users is tiny comparing to interbank trades.
It sounds for me like a different universe, not the world, but the universe, like Avatar, me fintech world.
Oh yeah.
I guess there are a lot of like different niche, different segments, and so many companies that we don't even know about them, right? They provide so many features, solutions for B2B, and since we are on B2C side, currently, and you're responsible for many products for customers over the world, in Europe, West, and everywhere actually, right? Let's dive in, focusing on a couple of maybe kind of marketing topics about maybe design and actually a customer journey. How in general your customers getting to know about you in the past, and what are the difference for now, and how you attract customers nowadays?
Yeah, so it might be different for different companies. Like I'm working in Revolut, and it's not a secret what initially customer base of the Revolut was increased by referrals and without any like campaigns or marketing whatsoever. And right now, of course, the directions switched a bit, and we have multiple like campaigns and publications and referrals as well, and many other like streams of marketing the product. I'm not an expert in this area because it's not my day-to-day responsibilities, but in general the user journey, I think the best way of getting the users in the fintech is the like referrals, because like there is a lot of companies related to trading, to banks, fintech companies and everything else, and they more or less provide the same service, and the best feedback and best engaged users who got this information about your company from their friends. Hey, I'm using this service, it's really nice, it's great UI and user experience, and they work really fast, they have no downtimes or issues or bugs on their application, and this UI UX experience and onboarding experience and other flows which user might have in your app, it's crucial. And I think this is the like pretty much standard way, on my opinion, how all fintechs company works right now, I mean, I'm not talking about the Revolut specifically, but any others which I saw on the market, they all try to make the best UX, because product thing is really important as well, but in reality, because of specifics of fintech, it's not really easy to just get a banking license or trading license. A lot of work which needs to be done, a lot of regulation with different agency, and if you are building the global market product, you need to basically talk to every single country and every single regulator to get their approvals to operate in this particular area. And even if EU, all of this European Union works kind of together, but in reality you may see different taxes, fees, local regulations, especially in some like France, Germany or something like this. And you can build a nice product, but you will not able to actually launch it. So this is why the fintech companies focus a lot on this user experience UI and UX, because this is something what you can control, comparing to like compliance, where you're just waiting for feedback from legal government agencies.
That makes sense. When you say that's actually fintech and all these companies works in the same way in the whole globe, are there any difference between markets?
Yeah.
Or difference between focus, like focus for product, focus for advertising, or anything? Can you tell about this more?
Yeah. The difference, like for sure, will be present, because like if you have like 10 fintech companies or buy now, pay later, or trading or anything else, you need to differentiate you somehow. And even if you build a nice UI, provide the like product vision, what you are trying to achieve and so on, you still need to provide something else, and you need to focus and find the niche which you are focusing on, because otherwise it will be really difficult to compete with like local players or with other banks. And well, in fintech, it's huge difference as well, not to compete with another fintechs, but also with like high street banks, which here for really long time they have all licenses and a lot of money and everything else, but like fintech differentiate by UI, UX, and all of these interfaces, but you still need to compete with the product side. Because you need to provide services somehow. You need to separate. So yeah, everyone trying to find their way. Like we are focusing on UK, we are focusing on young people, we are focusing on expats who relocate to different countries. We are focusing on, I don't know, wealthy people who try to save for pension or anything else. So you need to build this marketing campaigns and everything which will like highlight your positive sides and differentiate you from the other companies.
Yeah, it sounds very familiar that in CIS and Eastern Europe region, I've heard previously, and I had the experience promoting fintech companies and banks in CIS region and in the UK. And the difference, you're right, and tell that in the UK and in Europe, there is more focus on developing the product, the best product in class. But in CIS, the more focus is for advertising. So if we're talking about product, obviously that is crucial to develop and to scale the best product in class. Are there any difference in approaches in Russia and the UK? How it works, how you bring new features, how you adapt, how you scale, how you develop the products?
Yeah, this is a big difference as well. Again, I'm probably not an expert in like how to provide marketing for the product, but based on experience which I had in like Открытие broker in Russia, which is like one of the big brokerage companies, and in Revolut here, the main difference which I saw is like how you build the product. Because in Russia, I had experience when people try to focus on one particular exchange for the trading and one particular region. which means you try to hard code some specifics of the local area, and it will be really difficult to expand from this area to another, because you have like specific currency in place, specific exchange which you trade with, specific local aspects of the fintech products, trading, or everything else. And this is nice because you know your audience and you know what is the really important for them. But in the same time, if we will compare with the Revolut where I'm working now, this is completely different approach, because you know what you want to expand your company in all areas, and to make it happen you need to separate two main parts: the product part, where you provide the core functionality and core products. It could be like list of these products, like trading, finance, bank, credits, and robo investment, everything else. So you trying to build these blocks of functionality which will be available for the users, and then you need to have some local teams who will take care of distributing of this product for each particular market, with like polishing up some different features and specifics and tune a little bit all of these aspects. So from product point of view, you need to build a product which like mutable, and you will able to adapt it easily, and it's flexible enough to like replace half of the functionality, or provide different design, or different user journey, or something related to regulation or taxes or anything else. So this like affect a lot whole process how you build the product, because well, in my example, I'm leading the platform, so we build the product, and then I need to communicate with all of these local stakeholders to understand, okay, how this product will fit into this particular market, and do I need to have any adjustments, or it will work out of the box. And this is the big difference.
That's much bigger amount of work that you usually do in developing a product, because in Russia, when you develop a product, you develop for one region, and that's all. And here you need to adapt for any other regions. That's interesting. In the other way, like for product managers and for engineers, do they need to have any specific skills? Depends on markets, or skills are pretty the same?
Well, skills, I think pretty much the same. The main difference is like how well you understand the market, but this probably will be not your responsibility. It will be some local team who will provide for you guidance, like what needs to be done, what needs to be updated. So for you, the main skill is the product itself. You need to know what kind of functionality you are building, because I don't know, in e-commerce or in anything else, you kind of separate it from the product which this company will provide, because for you it doesn't really matter is it t-shirts or bread or cars or anything else. You provide the platform or shop or something which is quite generic, but here to provide best value, you as a product need to dive deeper into specifics, because well, high street banks already here for really long time, and if you want to build a product which will change something, you need to understand how it all works to provide some groundbreaking solutions and provide the best value for the users. Because well, you will not solve the problem if you create just another bank, but you will solve the problem if you will integrate like 1, 2, 3 existing things together in a good format and provide solution for, as I mentioned before, like expats, wealthy, or any other like cohort of users.
Now I will ask a question about analytics, and I'm sure Michael will be on the same side and have the same question. How you measure, how you analyze the results, how you understand that if this feature has product market fit, this not, what to scale, what's not?
Well, I think it will be the same as for any other territories or the products. You try to collect as much data as possible, and to understand based on various metrics like what is your daily active user, monthly active users, stickiness of the users to your product, how often they interact with your features. But in this example, you also like will split these users in different cohorts, not just to see like where they are located, but because you will have a different flows for different regions. And okay, you measure the product, but then you need to measure the same product at each individual region to understand what, okay, in general product works, but in US it's not fit for purpose because they used to have something different. And well, in such huge markets like US, you need to adjust to make it happen, and you will have these flows which will be
how you understand, how you make your decisions. For example, you launch some feature, how you understand that this launch was good, we have a good metrics and all that stuff.
Well, you look at the numbers, you will not able to answer straight away. You need to wait a little bit and understand, okay, we have X amount of users who use your application in general, and we introduced this feature, so you need to take a look like how many users start using this particular feature, like how they interact. Is it something what you were expected, the user journey and the format of interaction with the feature? And then you trying to understand based on like competitive analysis with the different players on the market. You will compare it with another features of your application, because in a fintech the cost of development might be high, and if you have some like 10 features, you need to understand like what you need to focus on, and if this feature is not working, you will need to switch the resources to another product. So yeah, I will probably not answer the question which you asked, but
you show the path. That's
I try
to gather
explain
more data.
Yeah.
I think we just tried to highlight that the combination of analytics and kind of customer development and MVP, like minimal viable product for new feature, are important in this process. That if you launch and if you have a product in FinTech and you launch something new, to understand quickly if it works or not. So you need to integrate all the steps from building kind of input of data to analyze data and be more responsible to make actions to fix it or change it, and understand like the feedback from your potential customers or from your current customers. Yeah, because they can give you a lot of information, and only then you can build something in the future. So analytics, it's like one of the main points that should be implemented everywhere, actually.
Yeah. The data-driven decisions is really important here, because you need to based on some numbers, like why you're trying to change something, why you're trying to deliver this feature, not another feature. And I think the other important factor, which you also mentioned, is time to market, because if you are building the fintech, this area currently growing a lot, and you need to be fast enough and flexible enough. And as a result, your like engineering systems should be like easy to change, and you are not required to spend like 1 week to build everything, to deploy to prod. You need to do it like 10 times a day. Yeah, and be able to update everything in a minutes, not in days.
How hard is to gather the like the proper team of product managers, engineers, analytics, and are there any difference between like level of skill of these specialists in the regions?
Yeah, definitely, it's a huge difference in different areas. I was interviewing the people around the globe, and you can see what like different areas has different like set of skills which provides in a better way. Like US team, of course, like really good with the like sales and stuff, because this is a huge market. On my experience, the post-Soviet Union area, I mean, not only Russia but Belarus, Ukraine, and every other countries around has a strong like math and engineering skills, and like again different areas in Europe as well. Has some specifics, but I will probably not answer for all roles because I'm not interviewing like all of them. But yeah, it's definitely a huge difference. And I think the other part, like how deep they know the product and how good they are in like building the product and so on. Because you mentioned what like in Russia, for example, people focus on the marketing.
Yes.
And I saw this when I interviewed the product owners in different regions, because in like US, Europe, and everyone else, they really focus on the product. They try to collect metrics of the product, how it works, what inside, and so on and so on. But when I interviewed the product owners from Russia, for example, they also had a lot of marketing, like how we communicate with the users, how we engage them, how we bring more customers from different sources, how they like see our product, what is the product vision, and etc. etc. So yeah, you absolutely are right. This like vision and focus a little bit shifted in other direction.
Interesting. How does the Revolut or another fintech companies use any contractors, or how they manage this like specialist team? Are they working remotely? Are they working in the office? What's better? Do they use contractors? How it's settled?
Well, again, it's not really my area, so I will not able to answer for the Revolut, like how it all works. But in general, with current situation in the market, they are pretty much distributed. Most of the people work remote and not required to visit office every day. And in terms of contractors, I think it's mixed situation. Of course, the better when you have your own like people in your company, because they work all together. They know the specifics of your concrete product, because it's not a project when you launch in 3 months and jump to the next one. So you need to collect some kind of expertise for the period of time. But on the other hand, if you need to grow fast, you might not have this expertise inside of the company, so you need to bring someone outside with external expertise, maybe not in your particular area, but in general in marketing or in sales, in engineering or something else, to speed up the process, because it's really difficult to compete with others. And if you're able to exchange like money for the time to get this expertise, could be a bit faster. Yeah, to make it fast.
Speed is crucial. Yes, you're right. Okay, I have one last question about the trends. If you have some, Michael, just jump in it. I'm sure you have some.
Yeah, maybe I would ask you just to highlight 3 struggle points that come up along the way of engineering and product owners, and for the future product owners to pay attention and get as much experience as they can and education. So what maybe are 3 points that you see from like your experience every year in every project, and that come up all the time? Yeah,
the top 3, it's actually a really good and interesting question. I think the first and important is to be data driven, so not to try blind guess and try to plan your work based on some statistics, numbers, analytics, or anything else. So when you build a product, you need to keep in mind not only like building the product, but also building the monitoring around to gather as much data as possible to make better decisions. The second thing, I think, automate everything what you have. This basically about time to market, to make sure what if you have great idea and it's some moment or event happens on the market, you will able quickly to adjust something and release it to your customers and to prod. So full automation, and it's include not only on like deployment of your services, but also some other processes as well, like how you will monitor it, how you will test, because this leads actually to the third point, which is flexibility of your systems and test coverage, because when you are fast, you make mistakes, and to avoid the huge mistakes, you need to close the most critical areas, which will be well monitored, tested, and so on. And the approach which was widely used previously with manual testing, smoke testing, and everything else, when you have like a huge team of testers who validate all your application, will not work, because if you need to change something quickly, this will take a lot to validate everything. But if you have automated testing environment which will check all key areas, you will able to roll out to the users and make sure what it will not break everything. So to summarize, data-driven approach, automate as much as possible to reduce time to market, and flexibility of these systems to be adaptive and like tested systems.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
That's worth it.
If we can talk about trends or some direction or some path where fintech is growing, can you define something? Is it already?
Well, the main thing, I think, the main area of growth for fintech, it's globalization and ability to integrate as much as possible in one place. So we are traveling a lot, so we might have different accounts in different countries, in different regulations. We have different asset classes like stocks, cash, crypto, and everything else. And this like unification and globalization of everything leads to certain changes on the product side. So I think this is a trend to integrate everything with everything, to be flexible and not rely on this one single market and one single area. And I think the whole idea of like launching of new products and new features, because like cryptocurrencies, NFTs, and everything else showed us what people might rethink the core functionality which we have in fintech. And okay, for now it was like crypto some time ago, NFTs and other areas. Maybe tomorrow it will be completely something different, like meta universe or something else, and you will need to be prepared. And it's return us to whole idea of flexible infrastructure to be able to adapt to.
So flexibility, partnerships, and integration, and split.
Yeah,
that totally makes sense. In marketing, actually, this is the same criteria to be the success company. So as Get Lead Agency does usually, they can provide you with services of the product managers, ready team to launch faster. So this basically integration and speed, and of course flexible, because we're working on the whole globe, so it usually can help. Cool. Thank you for that. I have no questions, Michael. If you have some, jump in.
No, thank you for coming. So
Yeah.
It was quite interesting.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me here.
See you next time. Well,
Cheers.
thank you guys.
Goodbye. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.